This one technique is going to help you detach from your trades. I remember not so long ago that I used to be complete wreck. I used to be attached to my charts, looking at my trades all the time, looking at the P&L, and it was exhausting, right? It was an emotional roller coaster, up and down, up and down, up and down. 1 minute I'm happy, 1 minute I'm not, and then trading was very difficult. And then I heard about detachment, and it sort of went in one ear and out the other ear for many years. I didn't really take the time to sit down and think about what detachment actually means. And I think this is the problem for a lot of traders. They just hear this word detachment thrown around very loosely and without weight, without much substance behind it. When the professionals say, oh, you just have to be detached, it's not explained in a way that really makes you, the trader, think what it's all about. In this video, we're going to dissect exactly what detachment means and look at all angles of detachment, and I'm going to give you a solution and a technique to use so that you can apply it instantly and detach from your trade so that you can start winning more. If you're new to my channel, go ahead, like and subscribe. Let's get into it. First of all, detachment means not being fearful of an outcome, not caring about the end result. Detachment really means being present, only caring about the now, right? Traders become attached to their trades because they want to make money. That's the outcome. That's the result that they want. They think that they put on a trade, they have to make money, right? They're thinking about tomorrow. They have to make money tomorrow. This trade has to make money by the end of the session. They're thinking of a future event that has not happened yet. And because of that, you're attached. You have to understand that you cannot predict what's going to happen in the market. You cannot predict an outcome. You cannot attach yourself to an outcome and let it define you. Because the moment you are attached and expecting an outcome, it'll make you nervous. It'll make you hesitate. It'll make you fearful. And when you're in these emotional states, it will affect the way you make decisions, the way you think, because now you're not thinking from a place of logic. You're thinking like a lizard. You're thinking from the amygdala, the fight or flight response. So you're not making logical decisions because you're just fixed on making money. You forgot about your process. You don't care about your process. Do you understand? So being detached means not caring. When I say not caring, you have to care a little bit, but not that much. You have to care more about your process. Caring about the process is what is going to allow you to detach from the outcome, because no matter what you did, you followed your process and you know that you have an edge. Being okay with the market producing random results is how you detach. So you have to make peace with your trade, as Mark Douglas would say, making peace with your trade, right? Making peace with your risk. If you're risking too much, it's going to be hard to detach because you have too much risk, too much money on the line. So you can't let it go. You're always going to be looking at it, right? And then you go into a little bit of profit and then you close. You don't even let the trade run, right? So you have to be able to manage your risk sensibly to a point that if you lose the money, it doesn't matter. And when you have that frame of mind, when you don't care if you lose the money, and if you lose the money, it doesn't matter, then you can let go of the result. Then you don't care if you win as well. You don't care about making the money. Amateur traders come in and all they do is chase profits, right? Whereas the professional trader is more interested in chasing his process. The process is what makes the money. The money is the outcome of the process. You don't become a trader to make money, which sounds weird when I say it, but if you're here to just make money, you're never going to make money. Traders are like craftsmen. They just focus on their craft, on their process. That's the most important thing. If you have a good process, a good system in place, and you have an edge, then over the long run, over a series of trades, you will make money because you stuck to the process. You're not fixed on just making money that you forgot about your process. You forgot about your entry. You forgot about everything else. You just want to make money. Then you become like fixated on money, and that's going to make you fearful. So the mantra that I use to detach from my trades, it's quite simple. I have an affirmation, and the affirmation goes a little bit like this. I don't want this trade to win. I just want to respect my process. I don't want this trade to win. I just want to respect my process. Say it out loud. Say it to yourself. Say it 5, 10, 20 times a day. Every time you have a trade, you say this mantra. You write this out on a piece of paper. You write this out on a piece of paper, and it's your affirmation when you trade. I don't care about the outcome. I don't want to make money. I just want to focus on my process. And the funny thing is, you usually get what you don't want. So if you don't want to make money, usually you make money. You see it with women, right? They date these horrible guys, right? And then they say, I never want to have another boyfriend that is as bad as that guy. And then the next guy is the same. You see what I mean? They just attract it. It's a law of the universe. You get what you don't want. So if you don't want money, guess what happens? You get money. If you don't want the trade to win, you're going to win. Maybe it's that trade, or maybe it's over in the next 5 trades, or whatever it is, but you'll win at the end of the month. You'll have more money than you lost. That's how it works. You have to understand that to be able to detach means to let go of your self-image from your trades. A loss doesn't mean you're a bad trader, and a win doesn't mean you're a great trader. It's just an outcome of your process. So you have to be able to separate the self-image and not tie your self-image and your self-worth to your trade. That way you don't have to care about it because it doesn't define you. Do you understand? It doesn't make or break you, right? It's just a trade. For example, I did one trade this week and I was completely detached from it, and it went to my take profit, and I didn't even know. I didn't even know for a whole day. That's how detached I was. I only found out because I got an email, and I was checking my emails the next day, and then I saw the email and it said, oh, your trade is finished. It made this much money. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. That's how you should be. You don't have to be reckless and not care about your trade. I'm not telling you to be reckless and not care about your capital. Like, you have to care a little bit, but not too much, but not to the point where you're risking 10% on a trade and you don't respect your capital. That's being reckless. You have to understand it's a fine line. It's an art, a balancing act, like fine tuning, caring and not caring. You need to be able to balance this out and not care too much, but care a little bit, but not too much. Care that a little bit, that you check in for 2 seconds once a day just to see if you need to move your stop loss anywhere, right? If you have to move your stop loss to break even or trail your stop loss, then you do that because that's your process. You're doing that because you're respecting your process, so you have to do that. But you're not opening your charts every 10 minutes and staring at it and looking at every single tick, being completely obsessed. That's going to make you go crazy. I used to do that and I went completely crazy. I couldn't sleep. I would lose sleep because I would wake up and then I'd be looking at my trades all night. That's the worst thing, right? So you have to be able to detach, otherwise it's going to destroy you. Detachment is a superpower. And hopefully now you can understand how important it is, because it'll play with your mind. It'll play with your emotions. And trading is all about emotional control. So you have to be aware of this. You have to act like a sniper or warrior. This is why I keep saying warrior, because you have to be mentally, emotionally strong and on top of it. You have to master that. That's what being a warrior is. It's not just, taking a trade. Anybody can just take a trade. Do you understand? So you have to separate yourself from everybody else and be a warrior. You have to have this elite mindset if you want to survive in this game, because trading is 90% mindset. It's only 10% strategy. And if your mindset is right, that means you respect your process, you follow your process like a warrior does, you respect your risk like a warrior does. And then the money is a byproduct of doing things right. That's the bonus. Do you understand? It was never about the money. It should never be about the money. So if you have problems detaching from your trades, check out the first link in the description. It'll fix everything for you. I absolutely guarantee it. If you're new to my channel, go ahead, like and subscribe. Drop a comment below and let me know how you detach from your trades, what techniques you use. I believe in you. I want to see you win. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.